In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to play the opening section of this bass solo. Now, this is a fast, very intense bass solo, and it's very challenging to play, so it's something that you're going to want to spend a fair bit of time working on. It's undeniably over the top, but it has great energy and it's perfect for whipping the crowd into a frenzy. So I've also filmed tutorials for the other sections of this solo, which you'll be able to watch if you're a subscriber to my video courses over at basslinepublishing.com. Now, if you do subscribe, you'll also be able to get hold of the backing track that I'm using for this solo, as well as the tab. And of course, you'll have access to all of my other courses, including the brand new intermediate slap bass course. Anyway, I hope you enjoy working on this piece, and do let me know in the comments box if there's any other pieces, level 42 or otherwise, that you'd like to see me cover in these videos. The A section is a transition section which is connecting us from the main part of the song into the main part of the bass solo. Now, we're going to be using the slap technique here, but also using the chord strumming technique. And in fact, strumming a chord is going to be the first thing that we do. So the chord that opens this piece is going to be an A power chord, which is played as an open A string, and then we're playing the A on the D string at the 7th fret, and then the E at the 9th fret of the G string. In terms of my picking hand, I'm flicking downwards with the fingers of my picking hand, allowing the fingernails to strike the strings. In terms of my fretting hand, I'm fretting the E and the A with the 1st and 4th fingers, but I'm allowing my 2nd finger to rest on the E string just to stop that from ringing. So I'm allowing the open A string to ring, but I'm stopping the E string from accidentally humming in the background. Okay, so that's the first thing that we play. Now, that chord is actually played on the final semiquaver of the beat before bar 1. So it's going to be kind of pushing into the first bar, and we'll hear how that sounds in just a moment. Now, we're going to follow that chord by popping the E, and then we're going to slap the A at the 7th fret of the D string, and then we're going to slap the open A. So we're strumming that whole chord, and then we're playing it backwards with a pop and then 2 slaps. Okay, now because the last note that we played is an open A, we've got the opportunity to move our fretting hand downwards because we're going to need to play the G at the 3rd fret of the E string next. Okay, and then we're going to the open E. Now that gets us into the beginning of the 3rd beat of the first bar. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to count in the first bar so you can hear how that chord pushes in. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so once we've hit that low E, we're going to play 2 ghost notes, a slap and a pop. And then on the 4th beat of the bar, we're going to move on to the G, 3rd fret of the E string. And again. Now, just to complete this bar, we're going to play a ghost note with the thumb on the A string, and then the open A string. Okay, and again. Okay, so that completes the first bar of the A section. Now, moving into the second bar, we just played an open A at the end of the first bar, and we're going to follow that at the beginning of the second by playing a fretting hand slap, which is going to be a ghost note. We're then going to play another open A, another fretting hand slap, and then a ghost note with the thumb. So quite an awkward phrase to play in isolation, but it feels a bit more natural when you follow the end of the first bar. Okay, that's what we do on beat 1 of the second bar. We're then going to strum an octave figure on the second beat. So I'm strumming the B at the 7th fret of the E string and its octave. I'm muting the A string whilst I do this. Again, just flicking downwards with the fingers of the picking hand. And the B's are actually a grace note. We're going to slide very quickly into the C and then back to the B. Okay, so that's what we do on the second beat of the second bar. And then on beat 3, we've got thumb, slap and pop, both ghost notes, and then we hit the open E. And then on the 4th beat of the bar, we're onto that G. We've got a ghost note as we're moving back up the neck. And then we're strumming that chord again on the final 16th note of the bar. And that's where that chord is then tied across back in for the repeat of the line. Okay, so this is a really complicated line, and it goes by really quite quickly. So I'm going to play it for you a little bit slower now, and I'll cycle it around a couple of times so you can hear what you're aiming for. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that line is going to go by 3 times, and then we're going to do it for a 4th time. It's going to be almost identical, except at the very end, rather than strumming that chord, this is going to be bar 4 in the transcription if you're looking at that, rather than strumming that chord right at the end, we're going to be strumming, actually just slapping an E at the 7th fret of the A string, and that's going to lead us into the first main part of the bass solo at letter B, and that's what we're going to look at in the next video. Okay, so tutorials for the other 2 sections of the track can be found in our video courses library over at basslinepublishing.com. And if you enjoyed working on this lesson, I really recommend checking out our intermediate slap bass course, as it covers many of the elements that were used in this solo. Okay, hope you enjoy working through this piece, and I'll see you soon.